Hi everyone, my name is Shayla. I want to tell you about my school. In general, it's the most ordinary and public. There are both boys and girls. There are the cool kids, the losers. There are the rich and the poor. There are those who get bullied and those who bully. But the latter was all too relevant until something happened that no one expected. I would like to point out that we live in a small city far from the big metropolises. There are almost no notions of modernity, freedom of choice, and all that. It's not even a farm, but something more outdated. Our little town is like a parallel world in a developing country in Asia. Why am I telling you this? So you can understand the problem. We are not accepted here to reveal our problems, to express our thoughts openly, our style of dress, and even less so to look at Western culture. Our parents, teachers, and grandparents believe sacredly that everything that is going on today, including social media, is really evil. My grandma clutches her heart when she hears TikTok. She thinks the internet is for the stupid and lazy ones. What did I do to avoid being lectured? I just kept quiet and didn't say anything, just like all the other kids from school. Our class teacher believed that instead of all kinds of crap, meaning the internet, it was better to pick up a good book. She was talking about the ones that teach survival through psychological abuse and stuff like that. Anyway, there were about 30 people in my class at the time. Half of them were boys. The most ardent was Ward. He almost ruled the whole school. They were afraid of him because he was strong and dumb, so much so that he never calculated his strength when he hit. Every day was like torture for my classmates because Ward beat everyone. He had 2 helper friends who held whoever their leader chose. Sometimes he beat them too, and no one dared challenge him. And what did the teachers and the principal say? The same as the victim's parents. It's okay. It's good for boys to fight. It's the only way to become a real man, they thought. One day, Ward once again got through to Bob. He was a puny kid, a head shorter than Ward, the quietest in the class. Quiet, with glasses and a stack of books. His parents worked as teachers at another school. Ward loved to make fun of him more than anyone else. But that day, as I watched the boogeyman approach Bob, anger crept over me. Ward, calm down. Find a victim at least as big as you, or can't you?
What did you say?
What did you hear? Get away from Bob.
Why do you care so much? You're in love, huh?
What the hell do you care? Have you seen yourself in the mirror, making fun of the weak? Aren't you ashamed?
No. Oh, if you weren't a girl.
What then? Would you hit me? That's all you got? I guess just because you don't hit girls doesn't make you manly. You're a coward, okay?
Take that back.
No way! Ward freaked out so much that he came up to me and stood way too close. I have to admit, I was scared. I was really scared. And I thought, this is it. This is the end for me. But then Bob came between us. It was funny because if I hadn't looked down, I wouldn't have even noticed him. He was standing so red and brave, fixing his glasses, so bravely sticking up for me, while everyone else was silent and unmoving.
Back off, snot lout.
No way! Don't touch her! You hear me, asshole?
What did you say? Come on, gorilla, hit her!
Ward already clenched his fist, and at that moment a teacher walked by. To class, now! She shouted, and we all went to class. The bully was on edge, and we knew he wasn't going to just let it go. But something happened that day that distracted us. A new guy came to see us. His name was Gus. This boy was so different from us. Bright hair, ear piercings, jeans, and a cool watch. He told the school authorities right away that he wouldn't take anything off and wouldn't change his style of dress. At first, the teachers just looked at him askance, but they kept quiet. I don't know what he told them or who his parents were, but I was jealous of his immunity. That same day after school, Ward dragged Gus out to meet him in the backyard of the school. Everyone came out because it was interesting to see the confident newcomer.
Where are you from?
Came here temporarily. I'm from out west.
What brings you here?
Circumstances.
Are you the smartest?
Are we talking about me now, or are we fighting an intellectual battle?
What did you say?
Okay, we're just talking. Okay. I laughed with the other guys. Ward didn't know what was going on and got mad. He tried to use his fists right away, but Gus asked what he wanted from him anyway. Don't dress like that. Take off the iron. Be like normal guys. Like you? Yeah, well, we got our own rules here, so go with it. Who says I have to do that? That's the way it is around here. Well, I'm not from around here. Any other questions, or I'm out of here? I don't understand. Are you being rude? I guess you don't get it, but I'm out of here. Ward suddenly shoved Gus, who fell to the ground. A fight ensued. Ward's friends grabbed Gus and held him on both sides while the bully punched him in the face and stomach. No one helped, and I watched in horror. When it was over, I was the only one who approached the newcomer. That's how we started talking. Gus wasn't angry. He said he was ready for such a welcoming reception because he knew where he was going. We became friends and talked more. Then one day, he asked me why all the girls only wore pants. I told him that the school prohibited wearing skirts. And do you not think that that's nonsense? I think so, but what can you do? Rules are rules. Apparently, rules only work for those who agree with them. No, they don't. Look at me. I've been here a week and a half, and I still haven't taken off my piercings or my ripped jeans. I like skirts. I even have one, but I wear it outside of school. Wear it tomorrow. What? No. Why? I don't want to get expelled. I wasn't expelled. But you're different. Exactly. You're not the system. You're you. His words made me think. I went home and put on a skirt, mustered my resolve, and went to school in it the next day. Already from the doorway, the principal told me to go home and change. I wanted to turn around, but Gus took me under my arm and asked the principal what the problem was. She tried to answer. Then Gus demanded to see the school's bylaws. It didn't say anything about forbidding skirts. And then suddenly, Gus was given a week of unwarranted classroom duty. We understood why. A lot of people in the class were already staring at me for messing with a new kid. Gus and I went to lunch, and as I was carrying my tray of food, Ward ran up behind me and just pulled my skirt down and laughed wildly. I didn't have time to react quickly because I had my hands full, and only then did I pull my skirt up. Then the principal yelled that it was my fault, like I shouldn't have worn a skirt. Ward laughed at me along with everyone else, so I dropped everything and ran to the bathroom to cry. Then someone knocked. It was Gus. I told him I wasn't going out in my skirt anymore. Suddenly, Gus handed me his pants and said, "Give me the skirt." I was surprised, but he actually put it on and walked out with me. The guys started laughing at him, and the principal got hysterical. "Parents to the school! Urgently! For what? For your behavior! How dare you be so rude to me? If my appearance embarrasses you, that's your problem, not mine. We have the same statutes and know the laws of the land. There's nothing here against the law. You'll be sorry." We went home laughing that day. I didn't want to go back to school. Gus was immediately called to the carpet by the principal. He couldn't do anything to the schoolboy because there were no legal violations. Then the principal came to me and said, "You are expelled." I got hysterical. Gus tried for a long time to challenge the decision, but no one listened. I got up from my seat and started packing. Suddenly, Gus said, "So wait, how do you guys even live here? I mean, you don't have a problem with being taken advantage of? You've been indoctrinated with non-existent rules, silly notions, and you have no choice? That violence is above spiritual values. That the likes of Ward can decide for you what you should and shouldn't do? I feel sorry for you. When I left for this town, I hoped at least there would be some self-respect. I was wrong." Gus took off his pants and put my skirt back on in front of everyone, then gathered his things, took my hand, and we left the school. This was a pleasant surprise for me. I cried, and Gus soothed me. But the principal couldn't get enough of my exclusion, and she came to my house, gave me a high Y, and accused me of being perverted, for which I got punishment from my family at home. I told Gus about it, and the next day he came home for me and was like, "Let's go." I got to school and I saw Bob there. He was wearing a skirt, along with another classmate and then another and another, all except Ward. My class rebelled against the principal in the name of freedom and the right to choose. Ward tried to drag everyone into a fight, but now they were all fighting back together. The principal called the parents to a meeting, and we recorded a video of the protest.